Let's pick up on the markets now, and they will be hoping for stern gains today, sustaining yesterday's upbeat trade. The JSE closing firmer yesterday, and the rand was weaker as investors looked ahead to the Reserve Bank's interest rates decision on Thursday. Masilela is Chief Investment Officer and founder at Makwe Fund Managers. He joins us now for a quick update on the markets. Mr. Masilela, thank you very much for your time. A very important day ahead of us. Let's start with that overview of how the markets overall are faring in early trade.
We opened in the positive territory, continuing that November rally, and because we see treasury yields are going down, and as a result, they're boosting stocks, and as well, market participants looking at Chinese policymakers for any clues about the support they will be giving their property market that we know has been struggling, and we know it's going to be a very quiet day globally because of that holiday, the Thanksgiving holiday in China and in the US. So we expect the markets to be quiet, but markets are expecting that the interest rate decision might not move much of the when it comes to the total markets, because people are expected to see what has been happening the past 2 months when it comes to rate decisions.
Well, let's talk about those rates, or that rates decision. The Reserve Bank will announce the final rates decision for the year. Is there any chance that we can get a reprieve here, Mr. Masilela, given the inflation data we saw coming out yesterday?
Reprieve is possible in the sense that we can get a reprieve that we expect him to hold for the third meeting in a row. And as much as we've seen inflation going up, yesterday, but inflation expectation, because the rand continues to be strong, hope to be at least going down going forward. And anyway, other major central bankers have been doing the same thing policy. So the interest rate differential between the rand and the US dollar is still okay. And we think that the guys will just give us a reprieve in the form of not increasing interest rates just to keep them on hold. Reducing them, there's no way.
We're going to have to see what the Reserve Bank governor tells us later today. Okay, let's talk company news. Mr. Price publishing its results for the 26 weeks, which ended on 30 September 2023. How have they fared in the period under review?
Not too bad. We've seen that the revenue continues to go up almost by 24%, even though profits as headline earnings per share, just like their interim dividend, are down 9.3%, because the guys continue to operate in a very challenging environment. We know that load shedding has cost them almost 60,000 trading hours. That's an equivalent of almost 190 million when it comes to revenue. We know that there's high food and public transport prices, including high interest rates, are putting a strain when it comes to consumers, so that doesn't bode well for them. But also, they had high inventories, so as a result, for them to get rid of that, they had to make higher markdowns, so that affected them. But the biggest thing for them going forward, and also for other businesses in South Africa, continues to be the issues when it comes to our port, because now the guys are struggling to get their stuff. But as it is now, Mr. Price are saying they've got sufficient to be able to meet the festive demand.
Yeah, Frontier Transport also publishing their interim results. Talk us through the group's service offering and their overall performance in the period under review.
These are the guys who own your N2 Express bus services. These are the guys who own your Golden Arrows bus services. So these guys are well entrenched when it comes to bus services, especially in the Western Cape and predominantly in Cape Town. So these guys are saying they expect their revenue their revenue has been up by only 6.9%, but their profits up 64%. Not surprising, given that we know that the last test when it comes to the uplifting of the COVID-19 restrictions, that was in 22nd of June 2022. I'm saying that to say that we are almost near normality, so there continues to be demand when it comes to public transport, and with them as well, that benefiting from the crisis that we see when it comes to metro rail in that part of the country. But yes, the likes of taxi riots, civil unrest, high fuel prices continue to be a negative for them. But going forward, all these situations, especially with metro rail struggling to be efficient, bodes well for them. And fortunately, the likes of Golden Arrows are well trusted and well known.
Well, let's conclude the conversation with Nedbank's appointment of Jason Queen as the group's chief executive. It seems no one saw this coming. How's this decision being digested?
Definitely no one saw that coming. I mean, we just spoke about the Reserve Bank. One of their governors resigned, and we expected, and there were rumors that is the guy who will be going to Nedbank. But truth be told, the guy is qualified, the guy has got the right experience. But normally, positions like this, you always get an insider to take over. And people who usually come out from as outsiders, they tend not to be that successful. But I think it's only fair to give the guy a chance. And it's just a coincidence that their chairperson at Nedbank used to be his boss when he had that short stint while he was still at ABSA.
Interesting times indeed. Makwe Masilela, thank you very much for that markets update.